on this week's Fitness Friday, we are talking about weightlifting for women, especially women in menopause. Here to talk about the benefits of lifting heavy is Patty Durrell, the owner of Rock Solid Fitness, and she brought a friend with her, Mariana. So welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so I hear this all the time, that women in menopause should be lifting weights and probably a little bit heavier than they think they should. Is that correct?
That is 1,000% correct, Janelle. Yes, and we're afraid to do that, aren't we? We are. There's 3 diseases that are related to perimenopause, menopause, and aging that could literally be reversed. Research has shown that could be reversed through strength training alone.
Wow, and what are those 3 diseases?
Those 3, the first one I would love to talk about is sarcopenia. And that's like a muscle kind of wasting or muscle atrophy where you're losing muscle that starts in our 30s, but really accelerates when we hit perimenopause and menopause. And so muscles are like our engines, right? They keep us moving, they burn calories, they protect our joints. So research shows that strength training alone not only reverses that, but rebuilds muscle, which is really awesome.
Okay, so it seems like there's so many benefits. Were there other diseases you want to talk about?
So osteopenia and osteoporosis are, unfortunately, we see a lot of that coming into our studio now. And osteopenia and osteoporosis, respectively, are bone thinning or like bone loss, especially as we go through perimenopause and menopause. And so heavy lifting or heavy resistance strength training tells your bones to be stronger and be denser. So that's an amazing other thing that we could do. Like many women are told to go on calcium or prescription medications, but research shows that strength training alone reverses that process as well.
Okay, so when we talk about lifting weights, you know, what are we talking about when we talk about lifting heavy? 10 pounds, 15 pounds? I guess it depends on the exercise.
It depends on the person too. So we always say we're going to meet you where you're at. Wherever your strength is at, we're going to meet it right there. And we're going to provide safety, because safety is the most important thing. And safety is no momentum, and then making sure that you can actually manage and lift the weight that you're lifting. But the most important thing is to progress the overload or increase the resistance. So for us, we use repetition ranges that are safe, time under tension. And once you get to a certain place, we increase the resistance, because the fact of the matter is, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.
Got it.
And so your body has no reason to adapt to changes if you're not stressing it. So it's, you know, a good stress when you're lifting weights, provided you get enough rest.
Yes, right. Okay, so you brought Mariana here to kind of demonstrate 1 or 2 exercises for us. So what's an example?
Yeah, so the 3 most bone building exercises are the leg press, the shoulder press, and then back extension. So we like to do all 3 of those for our members. So Mariana's been a member for 8 years. Very experienced lifter. So we'll demonstrate shoulder press first. Which is, you know, she's going to sit with good posture. And the only things that are going to move are her arms. So she's going to lift that in a slow fashion and lower it even slower, because it's the lowering that really gives us the most benefit. And once Mariana reaches a certain repetition range, then we increase the resistance by the smallest increment possible, so that she's constantly getting stronger, building muscle, building bone. And really the most like side benefit, there's always a bonus, right? The bonus is that we create an internal pharmacy for ourselves when we do this. Growth hormone, testosterone, which are things that we really want to build during perimenopause, you know, regulate. That happens as we lift weights. And then we get this chemical called proteins from myokines, and they help with our stress, they help with our mood, and they actually decrease inflammation. So there's so many positive things that happen when you lift heavy weights.
Love it. Okay, so is there one more exercise that you can demonstrate for us? Yeah, I know. She's like, how long do I have to do this?
So yeah, well, kind of like we use a leg press where we could really overload. You know, the more resistance.
Is that where you're sitting and you're kind of pressing?
Yeah, and it's just safer for your back. But you could do the same thing with just kind of a sit to stand, where you just kind of don't rest. And again, the slow motion eliminates momentum, so that your muscles are getting stressed and not your joints, which is super important to make sure that your muscles are getting the benefit without stressing your joints.
Wow. Okay, so what kind of weights are you using right now?
So these are just adjustable weights, so that you can spin a dial. They're easy to use, so they're just easy to you know, use at home and be mobile with.
I like those. Those are nice. Okay, tell me how we can get in touch with you if we want to find out more about your gym there.
Yeah, so you could go to rocksolidfitnessfl.com. You can find us on YouTube for tips and tricks, and if you go to our website, you can get a free training session and just try it out. We'll teach you how to strength train properly.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.